Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Reality Buzz TV. Welcome. It's a Friday, you guys. I thought it would be so much fun to actually do this review live today or tonight, just after the episode, while we are still excited about the episode, you guys. My notes are flying away because I'm sitting next to a window here. It's very hot in Durban. I've said it before. If you are thinking of coming to Durban, please make sure you rethink that decision because we are penning over here. Welcome, you guys. We are on Reality Buzz TV today. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. Please make sure that you follow me on all of the platforms, you guys. So we are doing the review of episode 3, season 7 of Uthando, Nesthembu, you guys. I'm loving this season, okay? It has something quiet about it, but they are dealing with real issues. Okay, now we are getting real. Okay, we are dealing with some mental issues when it comes to Umayeni bullying at work. That was such an interesting thing, you guys, to listen to. I imagine how difficult it is to have a normal corporate job, but you are also from a very famous family and you are also on a reality TV show, and then you're just trying to come and be maybe an office assistant, for an example. So yes, you guys, I'm loving it. Okay. And I'm also, for the first time, you guys, I'm just sensing a little bit of immaturity when it comes to Uma Khumalo and the way she thinks when it comes to her relationships with the other wives, MaNgwabe. But there's a point, you guys, that she brought today in that argument, yeah, Kenoma, MaCele and the attending of Umembe. So you guys, that I thought, wow, I had forgotten about this part, but Makumalo brings it up. I love it, you guys. And of course, you guys, out of all of the wives, I want to say MaNgwabe seems to be the happiest of all of them for the first time ever. People always say MaNgwabe, she's always angry. She's just always upset about something. For the first time ever, you guys, a household MaNgwabe seems to be the one that is just happy. She's happy with her girls, and her husband who comes maybe once a month. We don't know. We're still trying to figure out what we are gangagi. So the other wives homes, you guys. So yes, I think I did love this season, you guys. I think the highlight for me was Maya Yeni going to a therapy session. I loved that because I do feel like there are so many people that are going to relate to that, you guys. And of course, what MaNgwabe's daughter is asking for, you guys, I want to talk about that, you guys. What is your opinion on that? Would you let your child go for virginity testing? Anyway, let's begin, you guys, and talk about what really happened. Okay, Anna, thank you so much for being here. Sawubona now, it's good to have you here, you guys. So, listen, picking up from last episode, of course, MaCele and Makumala have to finish that conversation they started last week, which was them talking about whether they are okay with each other. Right now, what do you think? Okay, and this is what I realized. I feel like because after the last season, they went and they worked together, even though they didn't talk about what happened in the last season, Uma Khumalo assumed ukuthi they were okay with each other because, of course, when they did Ezomshado, there were no issues, okay? And also they were taking all of those photos that we were seeing them take online. So she assumed everything is okay. But what she didn't realize was that MaCele had not seen the episode where her and Mseleku are sitting there and Mseleku was saying, you know what, you must not serve the other wives anymore. And she was agreeing with it, okay? So she had assumed they're okay. So she's surprised that there's still tension afterwards, okay? I kind of felt like, but Uma Khumalo should have realized that that's what is going to happen because she probably knows when they actually have access to episodes, and then she would know if MaCele had seen that or not, you guys. So MaCele was trying to explain, listen, of course, after the episode, we went and we worked together, but then I saw what had happened in the episode and I didn't like what he said. And I'm guessing that MaCele also didn't like a response to Khumalo because Khumalo is actually not the one that said the thing that MaCele didn't like. It was Mseleku who said it, okay? She also says, the thing about it is that Musa understands and knows why I did not attend your Umembes. And also I did say to you, this is something that was not on the show because I don't remember MaCele saying to Khumalo, listen, I can explain it to you. But she said she had offered to say, listen, if you still don't understand why I'm not coming, I can explain it to you. And uMakhumalo had responded and said, I'm okay, right. She said, right. Okay. This was not at the table. This is not the conversation at the table. Because at the table, when Makhumalo wanted more explanation, uMaCele was like, that's it, angizi, end of story. You know, but she says later on she did offer to explain, and uMakhumalo was, I'm okay. Now uMakhumalo says, at that time she really didn't want the explanation of why MaCele was not coming, because she wanted an explanation at the table. MaCele didn't want to explain at the table. So later on, when she wanted to explain, she was like, "Angisafuni." I guess, guys, Moses and Jean, sometimes you are allowed to be petty a little bit, okay? Had they just sat down and uMaCele said, listen, nanka ama reasons angenza ukuthi ngingezi kumembeso wakho, we will not even be talking about this issue like a year later or 2 years later, whatever it is, okay? So now uMaCele is trying to explain the 20-year anniversary kind of a situation, to say we have our agreement with Musa that after 20 years of us being married, I was not going to involve myself in anything that had to do with him taking a wife, whether we are lobola, whether kanjisumbondo, whatever it is. If it has to do with Mseleku getting married, I'm not attending that, okay? And I guess Makhumalo's issue is, okay, fine, you did make those agreements with Musa, but after that, we have built a friendship, now we have built some sort of a sisterhood. Why does it matter that izinto enanivumelene ngazo 20 years ago? That's why I felt like uMakhumalo was being immature a little bit, because I do feel like, you guys, yes, uMaCele uneconsi, I will take that, you guys. Sometimes she's just angry for no reason. But I do feel like it's important for them to acknowledge that when they came to this marriage, MaCele was married to Mseleku, and she had to agree to it. And if there were terms that they agreed upon with Ubaba Mseleku, and she wants to still live by those terms within her marriage, she's allowed to do that. I don't think that they should say, "Ay, phela nanivumelene kudala, but manje izinto zishintshile." Then she can just change her mind and say, "Yeah, ngangivumile ukuthi he can take other wives, but now, okay, I'm not agreeing." If she's allowed to change, okay. I feel like as much as uMakhumalo really wants or wanted uMaCele to attend umembeso wakhe, but I felt like MaCele deserves just a little bit of an understanding in saying, okay, now I understand that there was something that you guys agreed upon. I did not know. Had I known, maybe I wouldn't even attend your wedding, because remember, uMakhumalo did attend MaCele's wedding and did attend Mayeni's wedding. MaCele was trying to even make an example and say, listen, it's not about you, because I did attend Mayeni's wedding. And the reason I attended Mayeni's wedding is because it fell within that time. So Umayeni got married before my 20th anniversary. So I attended. Okay. So it's not about you. It's about the fact that your stuff now is being done after the period that we had agreed upon. I think uMaCele gets impatient when she's trying to explain something and umuntu is not understanding it the way that she wants them to understand it. I feel like I had hoped that they will spend more time explaining their thinking to each other, so that when they walk out of the table, they understand each other. I don't feel like they do. And I felt like they were not sitting down to understand each other. It's almost like MaCele wants Makhumalo to understand her thinking, and then Nomakhumalo wants uMaCele to understand her thinking, but they were not sitting down to say, listen, let me understand you so that we can move forward. Let me understand you. uMakhumalo is not understanding. She's discounting in Toga 20 years. Why does the 20 years matter? If we go to after the agreements that you made with Mseleku, we have built a friendship. Shouldn't our friendship be more important than the agreement that you made with Mseleku 20 years ago, which made MaCele even more angry and made her impatient? And she did not seem like she wanted to sit there and have a conversation any longer, okay? Now, here's the thing that uMakhumalo brings up, which I feel like it's kind of important, and I had forgotten about it. Remember when MaCele I was getting married, and uMakhumalo attended the wedding. And at some point, when MaCele arrived with abantu bakubo, she went in naye to welcome MaCele, which she was not supposed to do. And it turned out to be a big thing. And she was chased out to MaCele. And she was chased out. Makhumalo attended MaCele's wedding because the wedding was at Mseleku umshado. So after that, MaCele said when they were driving out to a venue, she was with her family in the car. She said, "Umakhumalo uyaphapha. Why did she come? Because for that activity, emshadweni, she was not supposed to be there. It was only supposed to be abantu bakaMseleku." So she said some unpleasant things about uMakhumalo. uMakhumalo is saying, listen, even when she was getting married, she said some things about me that were not pleasant. But I have forgiven, and I have moved on. How come she can't forgive me? And I was like, yes, uMakhumalo, right, God. All right, Lapo, guys. It's exactly the same, even though she still attended the wedding because she still went to the wedding, even though she was chased out, because later on they were called back. MaNgwabe decided she's not going there, and uMakhumalo still went. She's saying, if I forgave her, because now she did say things that I didn't like, but I still was able to move on. I think it's that thing, uMakhumalo, where she expects that what she gives to people in relationships is she must get exactly what she gives to the people. Okay, sometimes people can't give you what you give to them, and it's either you accept to go to that's how the relationship is, like you're not gonna get what you give, or you just abandon the relationship if you're not happy with the fact that whatever it is that you're giving in a relationship, you're not getting back. I don't think she's ever going to get what she's given to MaCele back, MaCele only goes so far, and she's okay with that. So it's up to Makhumalo now to decide, do you move on with the friendship, or do you just abandon the friendship because you are not happy that this person is never going to do for you what you have done for them. And I don't think that MaCele is ever going to do that. I don't think MaCele is going to go to Makhumalo's function and MC and all of that. I don't think she's going to do that. I don't think MaCele is going to be arranging a honeymoon what for Makhumalo. I don't think she will do something like that. So I feel like at this point, it really is up to Makhumalo to decide, does she move on with the friendship or a relationship, whatever they call it, or just be like, okay, I'll just keep to myself. Okay, now you guys, Umakhumalo asked an interesting question, because she says, do you even recognize my marriage to Mseleku? Asking Mseleku, okay, to recognize my marriage. The response kaMaCele was more like, do I need to recognize your marriage really? Because you have what you have with Mseleku, not me. Also, when Mseleku is kuhanjiswa umembezo, it's uthe indoda yami ehambisa umembezo kwakho, And then uMakhumalo is like, but sis, and MaCele is like, but the reason I know you, guys, this is an interesting one. Actually, I'm remembering something she said. She said, Phela uMakhumalo, I didn't know her, before she was Seleku's wife. I knew her as ingane yakamakhelwane. So uMaCele, when she was married to kaMseleku already, uMakhumalo was ingane yasendaweni, a child from the area. Remember, Makhumalo was very young. Okay, they said they met when Makhumalo was 18, but I suspect she was 16. Okay. Because they always say that when they don't want to say something, they met when they were underage, they will say 18. So she said she was just in Ghana Sendawen because Umakhumalo is from the area. And then after that, she married to the family. But she says, I met her through Mseleku. Had it not been for Mseleku, it's not like MaCele and Umakhumalo would be our friends. So that friendship or whatever it is that they have is because of the Ndoda. Had it not been the Ndoda, it wouldn't be there, you guys. I kind of feel like, you guys, I don't know. Like, I feel like uMakhumalo wants the impossible. These are your sister wives. Had it not been for the fact that you like and love the same man, you probably wouldn't get along, And if a person says to you, listen, in this friendship, I can only give so much, you have to accept it at some point. you know, and you're just hurting yourself if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing for this person to be like your best friend, because it's just never gonna happen. But that was a scene, you guys, with MaCele. She did offer some kind of an apology. MaCele said, listen, I really am sorry that I didn't come, but I do have reasons for not coming. Okay. Khumalo also pointed out that when at the end of the conversation that they had last season, when she was inviting them to Umembeso wakhe, they laughed. I remember that awkward thing, you guys, at the end when MaKhumalo stood up to leave because she was disappointed Mayeni and MaCele were not coming. And then MaNgwabe left right after that. Then MaCele and Mayeni looked at each other, they laughed. Okay, I don't know if it was a nervous laugh or what, but they did. She said that her feelings were hurt by the fact that they did laugh at that situation, because it was a serious situation for her. She was really hurt by the fact that they had decided that they were not coming. Because I really think Khumalo thought they were all going to be excited and they were all going to decide to come. Okay. So that's how a conversation went. Listen, I do feel like at this point, you guys, I don't want another conversation about Umembeso Khumalo. Okay. MaCele was invited. She did not go. She has her own reasons. And yes, Khumalo, you were hurt, but hopefully it's a lesson for her in understanding the limits of the friendship between you and MaCele, at the end of the day. Okay. And if you think about it, you guys, God forbid, if something happened to Mseleku, I don't think those women will remain friends. I really honestly don't. Okay. So that just shows you, it's only about the indoda. When the indoda is not around, the people will be going their way. I really don't think that those women will be hanging out if Mseleku was not around. Okay. Then you guys, we move on to the next thing. I will be reading our comments soon, you guys. Okay. Thank you so much to everybody that is joining me in the comment section. Diana, Paul Laura, I will read your comments later on. Spiwe Mahlasela from Facebook, thank you so much for joining us. We have a small family over there on Facebook, you guys. Listen, so now there's a scene between Mpumelelo Mseleku and his father, okay? Like every episode, I just feel like Mseleku wants his sons to live exactly the life that he lived. And then maybe the things that he feels like he did not do them exactly like he wanted them to do, they must correct them. In a way, it's like he's not letting them live their own lives. And I guess Umpumelelo is the one that is more willing to do that for his father. But I do wonder, you guys, how long it's going to last for him to just do things to want to please his father. Because there is his father's dream. I would like to know what Mpumelelo's dream is. Okay, if we remove polygamy, if your father was not a polygamist, what is your dream? What would be your vision for your own life if we just removed being a polygamist? I do wonder about that, you guys, and it worries me. What if he marries all of these wives that his father is pushing him to marry, and then at some point he just feels overwhelmed and he's like, this is not something that I wanted, it's too much, I want out. What would he do? So it worries me that he pushes so much for Mpumelelo to do what he has done. And even more, I feel like he's expecting Mpumelelo to even have more wives than he did Mseleku. So they were at Mzumbe, I think it's the house. Sometimes I'm confused because every wife has a house in Mzumbe, and I think then there's another house, to Kyle Kulu, which is like a kaya, I guess the Gamselek, because he says that's where he grew up. And then there's a house there that is not like finished. He was showing Mpumelelo because Mpumelelo has to be the one to finish the house, because when he gets married, that's where he will get married. Okay, that's where he will bring his makoti. Guys, listen, I don't understand it, honestly, Okay, I understand also that is a home Mseleku, and Mseleku is still alive, so he can take care of his home. And then Umayeni has her house. So if Mpumelelo takes a wife, wouldn't Umakoti go and kotiza kaMayeni at Mayeni's house? Does she need to go cotiza and calculate? I was confused there, but that's what Mseleku expects. Also, I was like, okay. And now, remember, we have Mpumelelo, who is the firstborn, but he is born from the second wife. And then we have Ulwandle, who is the second-born, but born from the first wife. So isn't he the one that is supposed, like, I'm confused by that. Isn't he the one that is supposed to get a kalkulu if any of the sons are supposed to? I'm just like confused by that, you guys. Anyway, they were just talking about the fact that Mseleku decided for Mpumelelo to come back home. That's when I realized that actually this was shot a while ago, because this is around the time when the Queen Lolly story, you remember Queen Lolly, who released tapes of Mpumelelo doing the things with her. And Mseleku is saying he decided to go to tell Mpumelelo to come back to Joburg. Mpumelelo was saying, "I Joburg impilo fast." If fast the very impilo Joburg now mawuphapha, you know. Ufike waphapha nje within months now senama SEX tapes. So and then he decided he needs to come back so that they can prepare for indaba yokuthi now fanele aganwe, you guys, which is going to be interesting, because later on, maybe let me get into that scene, you guys. Kamayeni, okay, Kampumelelo noMseleku, because there was a scene Kampumelelo noMseleku at the house at Kalkul, and then there was another scene, you guys, that they shot together when they were talking about uganwa kwakhe uMpumelelo, okay. Now, Mseleku in this scene, you guys, was sort of grilling. I won't even say it was advising, like grilling Mpumelelo on the basically just telling him, uzophila kanje. This is how you are going to live, okay? This is the type of wife you are going to take. This is how your wives are supposed to dress. You know, right now you need to tell them, they need to check. When he is seeing the girlfriends on Instagram, he's like, hey, this all needs to change, because he's very concerned about the way that they dress, and they have to understand now that once they are married, Mseleku, they're going to have to dress appropriately and all of that, and also make sure that you don't take someone on engane. Mseleku has an issue with abantu abanengane. Angazi ucathi thina sothatha ubani ney'ngane zethu, lapho yena has 2 kids, angaba abazali ngabathatha, yena ngamthathanga ngani uma kaMpuleyo, akamthathanga ngani uma kaSine yena, unabantu angabathatha. And yena wathatha uMaSawule enomntwana, wathatha uMaSawule enomntwana, and then he didn't take Ulon. But he said to his son, he believes that once you make someone pregnant, you must marry them, but you must not marry someone with a child. But he did not do all of that, you know. I don't get it. So basically, he was telling them, and then he was telling them, basically, Mseleku is talking about each of his wives and saying, don't take any of the wives that are like your mothers. That's what he said. He said, don't take a wife that doesn't believe in Nesthembu. That is Umayeni. He said, don't take a wife that speaks to you anyhow. That is MaNgwabe, because MaNgwabe will tell you to your face, Uguti, you are speaking ish. You are speaking nonsense right now. You are lying. You never said that, you know. There's MaNgwabe, and I was like, he is basically saying, don't take anybody that is like your mother. Take something different, okay? This is the reason I say he is drilling into them that they must, whatever mistakes that he made, they must not make them, but they must correct his mistake instead of just letting them live their lives the way that they want to live their lives. But I think, I guess for now, we can assume Mpumelelo is willing to do that, okay? Now it's complicated because he's saying don't take Umutone, but Mpumelelo already has kids. But I'm guessing the assumption is that he's going to marry the girls that are already baby mamas, okay? And one of them is already calling herself a mamkhulu. Okay, I did ask this when I was reviewing Ingane Zesembe, and I was like, how are you a mamkhulu? Kanti, what is a mamkhulu? Okay, because they were still talking about paying in Tlaulo for Vuyo's first child, and she was already calling herself mamkhulu, and I was like, hey, asas kelana, okay? So you guys, yeah, and then he said, it's okay, make sure to tata umuntu Otobegile and all of that. And then they talked about the Queen Lolly's thing, even though they don't say her name. They said he said there was a magogo she was forcing to be umakoti wakamseleku and all of that, you know. Honestly, you guys, of course, MaMsele is going to act like Queen Loli was the one that wanted Mpumelelo. I don't even think that it was like that, you guys. Of course, she's the one that exposed the relationship, but I think Mpumelelo went there willingly. She saw a beautiful girl. Futhi Queen Loli, have you seen her on Instagram? Hi, I'm alive. Mpumelelo was like, I want that. Okay. Now they're acting like, oh, Queen Loli now, you know. And I'm like, but Mpumelelo wanted that Salukwazi. In fact, he went and got the Salukwazi, you know. so now Mayeni joins them, okay, for that conversation. And now they ask him, okay, so Uzotataba. I'm like, Haibo, and it's still a question, Uzotataban, you know, isn't he supposed to take over first? And then the other, I forgot the other girl's name, guys. Please remind me in the comment section. The second girlfriend, the second baby mama. So who are you going to take? And then Mpumelelo is like, hey, Angisa assess. Hey, guys. Ooh, guys will make themselves have options, okay? Because as women allow them, we give them options. We give men that should not have options, we give them options. Mpumelelo should not be having an option right now on who is going to take as the first wife, the second wife, the third wife, because here are two girls with your babies here, take them. You know, why are you acting like you have an option, you know? You know what I mean? But the reason that they will always have options is because we give them options, because he says here, I'm assessing, okay? He says, listen, I want to walk this ndlela a different way because I want my first wife to be a virgin, okay? Here is why I say, as women, men will act like they have options, but we give them options, because the reason Mpumelelo is saying that, I can guarantee you there's a virgin somewhere that is already dating Mpumelelo and has said, Mpumelelo, Angizokana, if you make me the first wife, I can guarantee you that there is already a virgin that is in a relationship with Mpumelelo. And she was like, but because you know. So she's willing to get in the mess, because shouldn't she be saying, listen, you already have two baby mamas. I don't want that stress. I just want my own husband. So I'm not doing it. So the reason that he has options, there's always going to be girls that are willing to get into the mess. So I feel like that's the only reason he's saying he wants a virgin as the first wife. There's probably a girl right now, Ohamba Mhlanga, and he was like, okay, and the girl was like, yeah, but then, you know, I want to be the first one. Listen, I think Mayan is just going to lose her mind, because he's like, what? You know? But that conversation was not finished, because I think that was at the last scene. But I'm still going to talk about the other scenes, because I just wanted to be done with Mseleku and Mpumelelo and what. I kind of feel like, you guys, Uba Mseleku probably knew about the virgin thing. I feel like he's the one that said, away from the cameras, we're just going to put a twist in this, you know, let's introduce, you know, I don't know, guys. I feel like it's possible that it was planned. Probably Umayeni that didn't know there was a virgin coming into the conversation, you guys. Then it was my favorite scene this episode, which was Umayeni going for counseling. She's seeing a psychologist, you guys. I thought that the reason she was seeing a psychologist, everything that's going on at home with her husband, with Mpumelelo, with Mpumelelo, the grandchildren and all of that, but it's something different, you guys. Since the show began, Mayeni has always worked, you guys. She has always worked some government office, you guys. I think she said she was like an office assistant or something like that, not like a senior position. At the time when she introduced the fact that she works, it was a junior position, something like that, like office assistant or something like that. But she worked municipality or government office somewhere, department of what, okay. Now, she says that she no longer works for that department she used to work for. So she got a new job. But when she got to this new job, she wasn't welcome, okay? And people just don't like her. And then they were making it clear that they don't want her there. That's why I was saying in the beginning, I imagine you guys just trying to live a normal life and working your normal average job and junior position at that, and Mseleku from Uthando Nesthembu, and some people can just punish you for that, you know. And guys, I don't know if I'm the only one that thought, is it possible that Mayeni is or has been depressed or has had depression? Because it did sound, she's very heavy about when she's talking about this subject of, basically it's bullying at work. She's not happy at work and she doesn't feel welcome, and people just don't seem to want her there. There's a situation she has been dealing with, and she feels like therapy helps her, but she's still having a hard time when she has to go back now and face the situation. It's a very difficult situation, and she does get emotional about it. The other reason that I feel like it's possible that she was maybe depressed is because she mentions that the last time she came, the doctor wanted, the psychologist wanted her to be admitted because she felt like it was, she was in a bad condition, you know, her mental state, I guess, and she wanted her admitted, and she ran away from that because she says that it was, she just didn't see how that was going to work with her being admitted because her children are very young. She has Umnini and the other child, I think it's a girl, ne? And then there is Bumelelo's child, and then there's a new, I don't know if a new one also lives with her. Okay, so she was saying that she did not see how that was gonna work. If she gets admitted, what was gonna happen with her babies? This is a thing that I don't understand, you guys. Like with this Tembo Sabone, I feel like it comes with a lot of stress. But the things that are supposed to be a benefit of this team, but they're not enjoying them. They're not enjoying the benefits as team, because one of the things that you should be able to enjoy is that you have people that you can easily trust with your kids. You know, if she needed to get admitted to take care of her mental health, she could have easily just called Omakuma. She should have been able to easily call Makuma. Listen, this is a situation. I just need to be admitted for a little bit. Would you be able to take care of my kids or MaCele or MaNgwabe? So it's like it's time services and stress. Yeah, leave imali alone, because people will always say, "Oh, baphila kamnandi." Yeah, I guess beg and imali eceleni, guys, because even that, you know, if we start talking about it, even the fact that they still need to work, it puts a question into how much money this family has. Okay, but I feel like that, you guys. Listen, my grandfather had Isthembu. I've told that story on my other channel. My grandfather had Isthembu. When I was growing up, I just knew that I had two grandmothers and one grandfather, but I never understood. I never knew that the other one was also the wife of my grandfather. I just had two grandmothers and a thing. And I remember when would visit Omalume, you would have to go to the first wife never had kids, and then the second wife of my grandfather had my mother's, my aunts, all of them. But when we would go to visit, it was like you have to go to the other grandmother that never had kids, because she was our grandmother, and you go there and you sit and you eat and whatever, because she had always treated everybody like, and she would be upset about the fact that, you know, you forgot to come to her around the work and and everything, you know, and then you go to the other one, you know. That's how his time is supposed to be, you know. When it's like the benefits, yes, now you just worried about your kids, but there's three other mothers. You know what I mean? You know. So yes, you guys, it looks like Umayani has been dealing with a lot, but at least she's taking steps to take care of her mental health, and I hope she gets another job, you guys. I hope she gets another job. Maybe it's just people that are like, oh, shame. Just because it's Google TV now, treat her, you know, special kind of a situation. And then, yeah, guys, we move on to the happy family. Happy family. This is the only family that is happy right now. In season 7, MaNgwabe is happy. Oma one, they have grown up to be so beautiful, you guys. Yo, and then even the little one, I forget her name, the one that used to be sick a lot when she was younger. She's healthy now. They are happy. And so Umawande had asked MaNgwabe ukuthi she wants to go join Intombi for virginity testing, you guys, and then she also wants to model. And Mseleku was coming in, and also she asked him that, okay. And I had asked in the comment section, what you guys think about that? Listen, you guys, I think it's a good thing when your child wants to do it. And I like the thing here in Tombi and everything, when they go to those things and whatever. But I still will say no to my child doing that. I have such an issue with the actual act of the checking, you know? Yeah, I just have an issue with that. I'm uncomfortable with anybody having to in that area, especially because I don't know how much the people that do it are trained in what word can I use? Do they understand, boundaries in terms of where you touch, where you learn how you make sure the child is comfortable. You don't, you know what I mean? I just am uncomfortable with it. So I would say, yes, I would like join in Tombi. If you want to keep yourself a virgin, just do it. It's enough that you know you are a virgin. I'm okay with it. But the checking part is the part that makes me uncomfortable because I just don't, I'm not comfortable with it. Okay. I wouldn't want my child to do it. But it's great that she wants to do it. And Mseleku was very excited about the fact that Umtanake wants to join in Tembu. She also wants to model. I guess she's at that stage where she just wants to do everything, you guys. I love seeing MaNgwabe happy. Listen, for me, MaNgwabe is my ultimate favorite. Before my Yeni, MaNgwabe is my ultimate favorite. Okay. So I loved seeing that scene, you guys. I think I've covered all of the scenes that we had. If I've forgotten everything, you guys would let me know. Other than that, you guys, I give this episode, because of my any sin, I'll probably give this episode a good 7. Okay. A good 7. Hello, sensitive and indeed. Hi, Diana. Thank you so much for being here, Diana or Diana. Hello. Paul Laura, hello. I think MaCele would have loved to have the final big wedding to Musa, that being her white wedding. She feels like Musa is so focused on getting the big weddings for the others, and now that she was. Here's the thing, you guys. People did make me understand in the comment section after my last review that MaCele, her complaint is more about the fact that she had changed the type of marriage that they were in. Remember, she had to go to Home Affairs and change it because Mseleku wanted to take the other wives. And someone had said that the agreement was that after all was said and done, the 20th anniversary was supposed to be her going back to sign again. Okay. My question is, but if she goes and signs again, then wouldn't that now discount the other marriages now? Because the reason that she went and canceled the other marriage with Home Affairs was so that everybody will be equally married to Mseleku, the same type of marriage to Mseleku, okay? And then in terms of her having a white wedding, I remember her saying she no longer wants it. I think she wanted Mseleku to be the one because Mseleku had been the one that promised that on their 20th, she will get to wear the white dress and all of that. She wanted Mseleku to be the one to come back and say, listen, now I'm going to give it to you. The fact that he did not do it or he did not even remember, maybe she wanted Mseleku to be the one to say it, because I feel like if there was the promise, why didn't you just plan your wedding for your 20th anniversary? Why didn't you just do it for yourself? I don't know, you guys. Agreed to polygamy and not prioritizing her and the commitment they made. Okay. I feel like, though, you guys, compared to the other wives, I feel like Mseleku runs for MaCele more than the other one. I feel like even when they're in a certain way, they are trying to have a conversation, he's always making sure that MaCele is okay in a conversation, you know? And when MaCele is not happy with the conversation, then that needs to be fixed. I always do feel like if they are in the same space, he's more concerned with MaCele than anybody else. It's like everybody comes after MaCele. But I guess she could feel like she's not being prioritized in that marriage. And guys, 4 wives is not child's play, okay? One wife is enough, okay? I don't know how he does it. Okay, there's always gonna be somebody that is not satisfied. But I do feel like, you guys, if MaCele is still not happy with the way that things are, and wants changes, then she needs to sit down with her husband and say, listen, I still want this that you promised to me. You need to give it to me because I did this on condition that you were going to come back and do this. So I want that. Because otherwise, Musa is just happy to just have all of these women being his wives, and he's done, and now he's focusing on Nompumelelo. I don't think that he's focusing on marriages that never happened. By the way, you guys, why are they're not talking about MaNgwabe's wedding? But we did see that next week she's going to be going to see the house that she's building, Ekaya, because the 12 members work it's supposed to be. That's the thing that's holding things back. Musa needed to honor his agreement to MaCele, and he failed. I guess that's the upset MaCele. Maybe she's justified even in saying, I'm not attending anything because now you are not doing the things that you were supposed to do, guys. But I need someone to explain that thing to me. If she goes back to Home Affairs and Sons, and then will have the white wedding, then what happens with the recognition of the other wedding or marriages? Okay, the Mayeni, the Makumalo, the whatever, because they can't all sign and it. That's the part I need an explanation with somebody that understands. And Gibites is the first comment as P Wema. Yeah, Gibite, I man. Hey, Gibites. Yes, Gibite is the first comment, yes, on Facebook, in our Facebook family. Diana Nakazo says, I just love Mayeni. I feel her pain. It's hard to suit, especially place of work, looking at their lives. So yes, guys, workspace can be difficult, you guys. Workspace can be very, very difficult. But in addition to that, when you are somebody that is famous like that, I can imagine. I think it's better if you're famous like that and then you are in a senior position, you're like a director of a company or something. But if you're going to come in a junior position, maybe she should have started at her old job, I imagine that it's difficult, you guys. And it can be very stressful. She didn't have a big wedding because Mseleku still had more weddings to come. She does not want him to marry after their big day. Oh, then that means she has to even wait for MaNgwabe. So that's the reason why she wanted all of the other weddings to happen before the 20th anniversary. Okay, I get it now. So Mseleku was supposed to take all of the wives before 20th anniversary, lobola them, marry them. And then after everybody else was going to go back, he was going to go back and marry MaCele. Oh. That's why she is even saying after that, she was not supposed to attend any wedding because all of these things were supposed to take place before the 20th anniversary. Mpo, you see, you've just solved something. Now I see. Now it's very clear because I was just confused. I don't want to lie. I was confused by it. What is the, yeah. And the others don't understand that because the others were not there when the agreements were made. They were not there. Anyway, you guys, that's all with this review, guys. I think I read everybody's comment here. That's all. I am enjoying this this season, you guys. I do feel like Mseleku makes the wives work more than he works on this show. Mseleku is not showing up for work, you guys. He's making his wives work. He is making his kids work. He's not working. Mseleku is not showing up for work in this reality show. Let me tell you why. Everybody is dealing with the personal issues. Everybody's dealing with personal relationships. They're dealing with relationships with each other. Mayeni is dealing with her mental issue. MaNgwabe is there with her kids. But Mseleku never talks about himself, and the things that he goes through. He can't be trying to present to us like this life as if having 4 wives, it's all, the only problem is when the wives are fighting. Okay, but we're not seeing Mseleku, we're not seeing his life, we're not seeing his struggles, we're not hearing anything about his struggles. We're not seeing him being vulnerable. like really vulnerable, not him pretending to cry like he did last season when he was crying because he wasn't going to be able to take number 5, not that pretend cry. No. So I feel like every scene when he's sitting in a scene, he's making someone else work. He's sitting with Pumelelo. He's making Pumelelo tell us about what's going on with his life. There's something that I feel like Mseleku yena self is not working. He's definitely not showing up for work. And I'm not happy about that, okay? Because you probably get more money than your wives. So we need you to show up for work. There must be more to being a polygamist than you just, just now and then talking about your wife's fighting. Wayne, what are you dealing with, Wayne? How is it like being a polygamist? How is it like being married to 4 wives? Okay, I need Mseleku to be showing up for work. Okay, otherwise, can the wives get a raise? And but he's not. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but Mseleku is not showing up for work. Okay, I need him to show up. Paul Laura, exactly. Yes, guys, we need him to show up for. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I think I've enjoyed this review, and I'm gonna try and do this like this after every episode because I think it's fun. Anyway, thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. I've enjoyed it so much. We will talk in the comment section because it gets done in the comment section. It goes down in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before guys, please, on this channel, watch my what do you call it, my playlist. I'm just close with the hours. Okay, it's very nice when you work to get paid. I'm not getting paid on this channel yet, and I want to get it monetized. I've met the requirements except for the hours. Okay, so please, you guys, watch my playlist, everything, leave it play on your computer so that we can make the hours and then we can start getting paid in both the channels. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegiona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ngenithanda kakhulu.